in countries like Hong Kong and China and Japan, where it is the primary and the major hobby. In the U.S., I think it's the third biggest hobby. I don't see it displacing Barbie dolls as a collectible. I don't see it displacing baseball cards or football cards, but I do see it growing and growing. Okay, we're rolling.
Okay, we're rolling. To the casual stamp collector, postage stamps have become less about flags and flowers and dead presidents and more about pop culture, thanks a good part to your company. The IGPC creates almost half the world's stamps annually and has married some famous faces to some rather obscure places.
Yeah, you got that right, that's for sure.
We've got the Gambia, Nicaragua, Palau. Lonnie, I don't even know where Palau is.
Well, I'm going to show you, especially because we just checked this out a minute ago to make sure I knew. They're on the map right here in the Western Pacific, and the great thing about some of these stamps are that they serve as paper ambassadors of goodwill for all these countries. You may not have ever heard of Palau, but if all of a sudden you see a beautiful stamp from their country, you may look them up on a map or on the internet or an encyclopedia to find out a little bit more about them. And there's publicity that the countries couldn't otherwise even buy. It puts them on the map.
No pun intended.
No pun intended, absolutely. Winston Churchill, JFK, and Franklin Roosevelt, and of course Queen Elizabeth. And following those figures on stamps comes Elvis Presley. As far as the people who've had the most countries issue stamps, I think it's up to like 32 countries have now honored Elvis on stamps.
Hey, hey, oh yeah, baby.
This was literally a little piece of minutia, the first image of Elvis ever issued on a postage stamp. It was for the country of Tanzania, or Tanzania, I've heard it pronounced both ways.
Yes.
And there have since been many more, but I guess in one sense this was a prototype.
There's some right over here.
Yeah, I mean, Elvis has tremendous mileage, I guess eternally, as does Marilyn. I think the probably working definitions of the word icon.
We had gotten hold of Stallone, and he had said he was really humbled by the idea of me on a stamp. And we had a Jackie Chan honored on a stamp from Gambia. And Jackie's right here, actually. This is one of the most popular sets of stamps in the world right now. Stamp collecting can't really compete with video games and with Barbie dolls and with lunchboxes and with all these exciting collectibles unless they have the subject matter, unless they have the popularity of some of these figures behind it, and people then say, hey, stamps are cool.
This is just to show an example of how you can take the Brothers Grimm and break it down into a little mini story that you can tell on stamps.
Stamps, yeah.
So we have Mr. Hare, and over here we have Mr. Hedgehog. And they decide to have a race right here. So the hare races down there, and who does he see? But it looks like the hedgehog. And he lost the race.
I think if you ever give this up, you'd make an excellent storyteller.
So that's the story. It makes wonderful stamps.
What can't you put on a stamp,
Well, I'll tell you, we were approached by a lot of people who wanted to be on stamps. We get lobbied all the time by celebrities and anyone. And there are those who they said, oh, no, country. They'll say, no way, we can't. Of course, the country has the final say. And so they'll always say, you know, all right, how will this benefit us? Or, you know, why will we want to put so-and-so on a stamp? There are times when they've said, no, 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 we can't do that. There are those who will put Disney characters on stamps. There are those who won't touch animation. And that's what IGPC is about. We try to change the image and change the face of stamp collecting and just change what it's all about.